Hi everybody, we're here for Small Business Saturday. Haven't had one for the past 2 weekends because we've got a really special video for you today. We're up here in Churchville at Lynch Construction. We're at their main office. And if you can see behind me the view, I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. We just saw about 1,000 geese take off, and the sound that it made was something I've never heard before. It was really incredible. It's beautiful. The weather's actually really nice today, and we're gonna go inside. We're gonna talk to the president of the company, Mr. Donald Lynch Jr. Hear a little bit more about how the company got started, what they do. And if you don't know the Lynch family, if you are from Harford County, you probably do. But if you don't know the Lynch family, they're a huge family in Harford County. They've been around, the company's been around for a very long time, and they do amazing work. So let's go inside, talk to him, and see what they do. All right, here we go.
My dad went into business with my grandfather back in the 50s, and then he spun it off to Lynch Construction in about 1956, 55, 56, and he started down in Baltimore City building houses. In the late 60s, or mid to late 60s, he started a subdivision here in Bel Air called Marywood, him and another builder, and then they spun that off, or he spun that off to go to another subdivision called Cedarwood. I grew up in that business from the time I was about 12 years old, working, cleaning out houses, was put in a dump truck when I was about 13 years old and drove all over the job sites. My father put me on a bulldozer. It was like a big Tonka toy, and it was just amazing, you know, that to be 13 or 14 years old and on this gigantic piece of equipment. He said, "You can't hurt anything, son, just thrill." So I've had this in my blood for a long time. I grew up with a lot of old-time carpenters, wore the coveralls. A couple of them worked in coal mines, a couple of them worked down at Bethlehem Steel for a while. And they taught me the trade from the ground up. I learned that being on time for work was being there 10 or 15 minutes early. If we started at 7:30, I was supposed to be there at 7:15, and that's the way I learned it. That was my work ethic, and it just blossomed from there.
So tell me like the scope of the work that you guys do. Do you do new construction? Do you do renovations? Do you do smaller projects?
We do a little bit of everything. So we have done new home construction before. We do a lot of whole house renovations where our customers will actually move out and we'll come in and completely remodel the whole house. Those are our large projects, and then we also do kitchens and bathrooms and additions, and also exterior, so we've done siding and roofs, and sometimes we do windows, so it's a little bit of everything, but primarily it's major remodels, kitchens, bathrooms, additions, design build. We do a lot of that. I just have a passion for what I do, you know,
and that work ethic, that clean site done right on time is just all a part of what we do. And now that I have my son as a third generation coming up into the business, it is just awesome. My dad passed when I was in high school in 1973. I just started my senior year. It was a dark time for me, and I made some, unfortunately I made some bad choices and had to recover from that. And in 1981, I reestablished Lynch Construction. I took over the family name again, and here we are, a bunch of years later in beautiful Churchville, Maryland, doing all kinds of projects all over Hartford, Baltimore, Cecil, Howard, Anne Arundel County. And that's what we're after, is to have our clients as pleased as possible. And that's what we're all about.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you can tell that the passion for what you do really comes through.
I love it.
It's amazing.
And there were times I lost sleep over how the customer felt and how they perceived us, and that's an ongoing process, is to have that customer satisfaction, and we just strive for that, and it shows because of where we are today. I have clients that we still do work for some 30 plus years later, and that tells the tale when they keep calling us to do service-oriented work, or even a major renovation. So
Yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing. So this is a home that was built in 1875, and we're going in to see the kitchen that was added and redone. Oh wow. Look at the views. This is beautiful. So this was added in what year did you say?
07.
07. Just a good example of your guys' work and workmanship. Beautiful.
As time went on, and my dad died, and I worked for him, and I worked for the foreman, worked for my dad's foreman. My mom had retained the Lynch Construction name. I went into the home improvement business under Donald Lynch Home Improvements. And shortly after I did that, I decided to incorporate. I was talking to my mom about incorporating, and asked her if she would be a part of that to help me get started, and she said, well, certainly. And I said something about the Lynch Construction name, and she said, well, as a matter of fact, I've retained the name, thinking that you may want it someday. And that certainly was a valuable piece for me, and made me very happy because she did that. And she had also told me that one of the other family members wanted to take the name, a cousin wanted to take the name, and she declined because she thought that I might want it someday.
All right, guys, we just finished up inside, so I'm taking a little stroll down the driveway here at Lynch Construction, but just speaking with Mr. Lynch about what they do and how passionate he is. You can see that his heart and soul is poured into every single project from start to finish. So if you have any projects at your house, or thinking about building or doing an addition, maybe a renovation, you can guarantee that if you work with Lynch Construction, it's going to be done right, and it's going to be done with the love and care that you would put into it yourself. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great Saturday. Enjoy St. Paddy's Day. Be safe. And if you need me to put you in contact with Lynch Construction for anything that you have coming up that you want to work on, let me know, and I'd be happy to do that. I will see you guys next week, and I will talk to you later. All right, see ya. Bye.